Welcome back to the van, much quicker, and yeah, it's rapid. The exhaust flap that we did as the custom job, that flap bent at 90 degrees. I've got a picture here which you'll be able to see. It just, you know, I don't know what happened, but I hit the rev limiter and it just went bang. Big flames, which was great fun, but it has bent the flap. Turbo's not boosting anymore properly. I'm not sure why, so I'm going to take it off and have a look. Based on what I've got at the moment, the actuator still seems to be in place, so I think the flap has probably fell apart or something's happened there. So going to get in there and have a look and see what we got. Found the problem, the actuator flap. As suspected, something ain't right there. There's a big gap. I mean, it does make boost, but just not enough. So I'm going to send it back to AET, get them to look at it. Right, the turbo's back. Let's have a look. This plug here was spinning round, and that's no good. It was actually open about 10 mil. And the connecting shaft between these two here got too hot and then caused the flap to actually basically bend open. All the gas goes through there, it spools it up, drives the turbine there. But of course, to stop it over boosting and limit your power and so on, to make sure you don't blow anything up, that flap opens there to bleed off some of the gas, so that you're also getting gas go that way and that way, so it keeps it at constant pressure. Because it was open, the gas was coming through here as well as through the turbine, so it had no low down punch. So I hope that makes sense, but I'm going to bolt it on now and see how we go. Just getting everything laid out. I've got my exhaust downpipe gasket, I've got the 3mm spacer, which is from Badger 5, which gives you the clearance that you need to fit the high flow manifold. Also got myself brand new gasket for the turbo or return feed. Right then, she's back on. All the coil packs have been pulled out. Reason being is whenever you change a turbo, of course you want to get oil flowing all around the circuit. So I'm going to turn it over on idle now, get the oil flowing through the system, get the oil pressure up, and then start her up for the first time in what's been a couple of weeks. So it's been ages, there's lots to go through. I'll talk about that in a minute, but first off, I don't know why it's took me so long, but I've actually got egg yolk for indicator bulbs, so I'm going to change it right now. The insulation's come out. This stuff's really thick. It's got to weigh about 10-15 kilo. In fact, let's find out. So here's my normal weight, 109.1. Comes in at 15.8 kilos. The back is now empty, the rock and roll bed's gone to save loads and loads of weight. It was over 100 kilos easily. So I haven't got a headliner at the moment, but I did notice when I went to a festival recently that I got very cold at night. So I have bought myself a headliner to go on. I've weighed it, it's 3.7 kilos, so I'm willing to take that hit. You know, it's not too bad, especially when I'm removing other stuff over there. Gone to a triple seat setup in the front. Now the seats that were in here before for the Alfa Romeo were comfy, but the problem was that they were too high. So the angle that your legs going down onto the pedal just wasn't quite right, whereas now it's a lot more like a car seat in position with these in here. Door pods are gone. I do like the Audio Sport door pods. I think they're actually a really good design. The actual pods, when I took them off with the speakers on again, I think they came in at about 6 kilos a side, so that's 12 kilos just for both sides. Whereas if I just, you know, compromise and put some 4-inch speakers in the top, that's going to be hardly anything. So by getting rid of the pods and also getting rid of that as well, yeah, it's saving me another, you know, 25 kilos, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it all adds up. You know, when you think of all these things that many people put in with the rock and roll bed, that was 100 kilos, you know, suddenly you're shaving, you know, 150, 200 kilos off the weight of your van, which makes a hell of a difference when you get to a hill, or you're trying to get down a drag strip like I am. Right, so this is great. I just come up this hill in Truro, just opposite the train station. Got no clutch. Driving up the hill, pushed the clutch and then my foot just stayed at the floor and couldn't shift from second to third. So now there's oil pissing on the floor underneath. Got a mate to come out and pick me up with his T4. We're going to get towed back to Cono Inferno's. Ed's going to fix it for me on Monday. So got a buddy to come and tow me. You see loads of hydraulic fluid on the floor underneath. So Robin's come up as well. We've got Stu here with his 2.5. It's going to be exciting, isn't it, eh? There we go, true T4 Spirit, been rescued within about 20 minutes, so that's ideal. So we're going to get towed back now and get her fixed. Moved over to 3 seats in the front with a double and a single. Reason being is it means I can have the Isofix base mounted in the front, so Emily can sit in and so can the little man. At the moment it's just a drone sat there. But I bought these Dub seat glove covers. The pictures look really good. If you have a look at the picture now, you'll see that it looks really like a matte finish. Almost looks quite neoprene-esque, and just a tight-fitting seat cover. The reality of it is that they're an absolute pile of... They're baggy. They don't even cover the seat properly. I mean, I don't know how anyone could think of this as something that looks good. I just don't get it. It looks like something you'd put in a builder's van, which is fine, but why would you call it a seat glove? It looks more like it feels like a cover you'd put on your garden furniture. It's that loose, it doesn't fit properly, it's not stretchy. They say it's waterproof, but I think that's just a fancy way of saying that they've basically just bought some cheap plastic. It doesn't even cover over the back, you can see there. I mean, I know you get what you pay for, but that does not look like you see in the pictures at all. They've even got a corner coming up here as well. So yeah, if they were sold and advertised as just a plastic cover, fine. But don't put pictures up that look like it's really good, because it's just stupid. If anyone's got any ideas for any decent seat covers that look alright, I don't mind paying a bit more, but if anyone's got any ideas for seat covers that actually look smart on a T4, I needed the double seat in the front, so if there is, you know, someone that could make one, or even something that just replaces this standard fabric, then I'll be all ears. So yeah, send me some links if you've got any ideas.